Tatis and Tatis Senior. I bring up his dad because we all knew his dad when we were kids.
Of course.
Now, we all know the 80-game suspension for Fernando Tatis Jr. sort of throws a little wrinkle in the plan of the Padres to make some type of postseason run. Soto, Machado, Bell, Drury. This team is pretty stacked. I mean, they haven't really played well since the trade deadline, but you were hoping to add Tatis Jr. to that lineup and really hope to just overpower teams because their pitching is decent. Snell, they got Yu Darvish, but they're not stacked. But you thought maybe they could just put up big numbers. Like a Yankees team in the 2000s. Get as far as the bats will get you.
Yeah. And for the weenials out there who are checking out the show, what's up? Again, Covino and Rich, good morning.
What's a weenial exactly?
Like in between, like millennial and younger.
Like 25?
Yeah.
That's a weenial?
I don't know. I think they're called weenials.
Yeah, I think so.
Fernando Tatis Senior played 11 seasons in the big league, so you have to assume that he knows the game clearly, right? I mean, his son is a superstar. But the thing is, Fernando Tatis Sr. is coming out and he's defending his son. Not a big surprise. It's his son.
You have to defend your family,
right?
And you have to defend your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your spouse. And you defend the people close to you.
The headline is something that you and I also said when we broke the news here on Fox Sports Radio, that not only is this tough on his family and friends and the team, this is bad for baseball. It just is, because it's a superstar of the game.
Yeah, Fernando Tatis Sr. said, quote, all of baseball loses with his son being suspended for 80 games for something so, quote, insignificant. Now,
that's the debatable part.
No, listen, I'm going to go out.
I agree that baseball suffers. Listen, that's where I agree.
It's not even a limb here.
Okay.
I'm not even... And by the way, don't jostle my limb when I'm on it, okay?
Jounce the limb. I believe it was jounce in the book, A Separate Piece.
I believe it was jostle the limb.
I think it was jounce the limb. Was it a Phineas character?
Please, like you read the book. Cliff Notes.
I read the book. I like details.
Jostle the limb.
I think it was jounce.
It's jounce.
Thank you. See, that's what happens when you read the Cliff Notes and you don't actually read, a.k.a. watch the game in its entirety.
Listen at you.
Jounce.
Boom, bam!
Oh, wow. You got a separate piece reference.
Jostle. Jounce. I don't even know what that means.
Yeah. Steve Covino, best known for his academic reading prowess.
I thought a separate piece was about your gumad.
I thought a separate piece was about when you were didn't you have two girlfriends in college?
I thought that's what a separate piece was about.
Covino was the guy that had his high school girlfriend.
By the way, hello. We're on national radio right now. Like,
this was a long time ago.
Yeah, you're acting like this was like a few years ago or something.
Covino was the guy that had the high school girlfriend that still thought they were going strong. Like,
by the way, you realize,
and he had a whole new girlfriend in college.
You realize when we're on national radio in this sort of format, people from my hometown could hear this.
I thought it was about his love of pizza.
Yeah, separate piece is about my pepperoni or plain.
Oh, slice of grandma, slice of Sicilian.
Right.
Piece of each.
So anyway, if you're not following, Rich made a really lame a separate piece reference and got it wrong.
Yeah, thank God
just a little bit.
Yeah, thank God I harped on that.
Which was a stupid book that we were supposed to read as part of our curriculum. But we're talking about Fernando Tatis Senior.
So Senior confirmed, and I'm going to tell you this. I'm going out on a limb, and Ricky, you can make fun of me because I think he was off the air. Joel, I think, laughed in my face when I said, I believe Fernando Tatis Jr. I believe him 100%. I really do. I don't know what about it. My instinct tells me that his story checks out. I don't know why. My first gut instinct.
You believe he has ringworm?
No, Tatis Senior.
He took that for his ringworm?
Tatis Senior confirmed what his son said. He had a topical spray to treat ringworm on the side of his neck, which contained an anabolic steroid.
Was it tough acting Tinactin?
Boom! Tough acting Tinactin. Boom!
It's been banned since 2003.
Was his foot and neck on fire like the commercial?
What came out positive in Junior's
Puppy, I need
body,
Tinactin. Boom!
What came out positive in the test is something that doesn't, quote, give you strength, first of all. It doesn't amplify you. It doesn't amplify your weight training regimen. Doesn't have any testosterone. And it contains absolutely nothing that would give you an edge in the game of baseball. To quote Tatis Senior, what has occurred is a catastrophe.
Oh,
Yeah, because
Good
it's
word.
his son. It's a great word.
Why is it banned?
It's a good question. Maybe it's just on the list of, I don't know, maybe because,
a good question
how for
because-
years hemp was, hemp somehow fell in the category of weed for no real reason.
reminds me of that time on Seinfeld where Elaine tested positive for opiates because she was eating too many poppy seed bagels.
Same thing, Spot.
Same thing. I don't know.
Same thing.
Elaine and Tatis Jr., same person.
Identical.
I mean, by taking this stance, you're also implying that the MLB didn't do their due diligence to make sure their star player wasn't
I
really
feel like there
put
needs
in a
to-
bad light.
I feel like there needs to be
You're out of your
there
mind.
needs to be
And
an
by the way-
additional appeal.
No.
If Tatis Jr. is not full of bull, if he's not full of
this
it,
story
you think he's lying?
screams of hogwash and save some face, and you got to have a reason. You know, it's a deny till you die. That's all it is.
He got a bed. He's
He's trying to save his reputation so
Hold
he could
on.
be in the hall someday, or so that he could, in the future be forgiven. The dude made a mistake. It's not because of the ringworm tough acting
No.
Tenactin that he took.
It's the bad haircut. Hold on, Ricky. You were saying LeVar was saying this, right? The bad Clippers
Yeah, LeVar backs up Tatis Senior.
Okay.
saying that bad Clippers. Dude, you're a guy that cuts his own hair. You've been to every barbershop. You were
I know. I say that some dudes get frog eggs if you get some bad clippers, you get that rash in the back. It happens to me sometimes.
So-
I cut my own hair, so I'm very familiar with what you're talking
So
about.
Tatis Jr. got a little rash, ringworm on his neck, and a little spray, a little topical. If that really is it, and this could be proven,
Yeah, but as a professional athlete, you also have to think before you take anything.
why do you put 3 syllables in athlete?
Because it just puts more emphasis on my credibility.
Athlete.
Emphasis.
Yeah. I put the wrong emphasis on the word of emphasis. Now,
If he's telling the truth, right?
if he's telling the truth, baseball and the Padres and everyone involved in the money that he makes, he's not paid for 80 games. You don't think they would have done everything in their power to really clear the name of this guy? Like, hey, guys,
This
hold
should be.
on, press conference. Yeah, you really got to take a look. I haven't even seen the ringworm. I haven't seen it.
You want photos?
Yes. If
No,
he's-
all right, no, all right, so if-
I
if-
do.
if Tatis Jr.
If he's that innocent,
Tatis
I want
Jr.
to see it. They should have held a
You know
press
who he
conference.
needs?
Baseball would have been like, "Hey guys, listen, baseball would have been forgiving, but hey, we're just following protocol. Maybe we'll cut the suspension in half, but rules are rules. But however, here's the real story behind it. I haven't heard anything about that. It's he did this and bam, and he's penalized. We're talking about a big superstar of the game.
Topical
so
spray.
therefore, I don't buy into the story at all, or else we would have got a different side of the story.
Tatis Jr.'s an innocent man.
I don't buy it.
A
The dude took
topical-
steroids and thought he'd get away with
A
it.
topical for ringworm, little spray on his neck, which, as Tatis Senior verified, does not amplify your training. It does not contain testosterone and will give you no edge in the game of baseball. It's like when Michael Phelps was smoking weed. Was weed making him a better swimmer? Get the hell out of here. Weed helps me get
Those
a good
breathing
night.
exercises.
I was going to
Yeah,
say,
they made
weed
him better.
gives you a good night's sleep after you put the kids to sleep. But weed does not make you a better swimmer. The same way, a little neck spray for ringworm is not making him hit bombs, Covino. It doesn't raise his batting average by 20 points. Now, I agree with you on one point. If this was very easy to prove, then baseball is failing by not
protecting their star player.
I mean, if this is a true story, you know what I think it should be? Little 10-game slap on the wrist, like, you dummy.
Or baseball would acknowledge that here is what happened. We believe his story.
I believe him.
But he didn't pass the test. Therefore, this is why. That's not what we're getting.
Are you saying this is like a guy that gave his
we're
girl?
just getting
are you
his
saying
excuse.
is this like a guy that gave his girl an STD and he was like, "Yeah, I sat on a dirty toilet seat," and expects his girl to believe that?
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Oh, it's
That's exactly what it is.
No, this is the guy who gave his girl an STD, but he tests negative.
Oh.
She tests positive.
yeah.
He's trying to figure out how.
Wait a sec.
So I'm just
Well,
letting
by the way,
everyone know.
I want your phone calls. Rich is saying he believes the story. 877-99 on Fox. Give us a call. In for Dan Patrick.
Now, I don't know. I feel
or
like
hit us up at Covino and Rich.
But what is Rich saying? Are you
hashtag-
saying that it's something else, Rich?
no. I'm saying that I feel like this is a harsh punishment, and for some reason, the way Tatis Senior's come out and Junior's statement, I feel like they are just.
He's coming out because it's his son.
feel
They're
like
trying to
but I
save
just feel like
face because
they're-
it's disgraceful for not
But I
only
feel
the
like they're
team and the
going along
family,
with it.
but the country, too. Let's not forget about the Dominican pride involved here and that he's not going to be able to play in the World Baseball Classic
That's
as
a big
well.
one.
That's a whole side story. Like, you know what a national letdown that is for his people, his
that's
country,
big.
for baseball? Like, that is the worst. So, of course, he's going to be like, no, I could be hing, and this is what happened. Like, no, this is the truth. No, it's because he had ringworm. Honestly, I go with the sentiment of that's the only ring he deserves right now because cheaters don't win.
When guys get penalized for breaking the rules, I feel a lot of times when they're accountable and all right. For instance, Edelman. Remember he was suspended for 4 games? Was it Edelman, right? Yeah, Edelman was
I remember
suspended.
he was suspended.
And
yeah.
he just took it like a man. Hey, I made a mistake. Andy Pettit took it like a man. I was recovering from an injury. HGH got
He said
popped.
he wanted to return. He wanted to heal faster.
Yeah, caught me. Tatis Jr. and even when Tom Brady with the Deflategate, he played a little dumb, but
Careful.
At the end of the day, I love Tom Brady, so I'm always TB12. But even sort of look in his eyes, like, all right, maybe there was something there. But with this, Tatis Senior and Junior, I really do believe it was a dumb mistake. But yeah, you got to be. It's like, you don't break foreign rules when you're in a foreign land, right? You don't.
Then
You don't-
let me ask you this: why doesn't baseball have his back?
I know,
If it's bad,
I
all right.
know.
So in one breath, they're saying how bad it is for baseball, right? And that's what we all acknowledge, including his dad. Then why isn't the MLB saying, "Yeah, we agree.
know
This is
why.
bad for
My-
baseball.
my-
so
my-
it's one of our
That's
big
right, 'cause,
stars."
that's right, because isn't baseball saying it's something else?
They have to be.
That's
And,
exactly.
I want to hear more. I want to hear Rob Manfred Mann come out here and be like, "Hey, listen, Tatis' statement isn't 100% accurate." I want someone to step forward and be like, "Yeah, it's a little more than that. It's not just a little spray. We tested, and because if it really is just a ringworm spray, then this is the raw deal. But hey, maybe it's more." Solomon in L.A. You're on Covino and Rich.
Yeah, man, pretty passionate about this whole subject. If I can rant for just a moment.
Yeah, please do.
Major League Baseball, such friggin' hypocrites. I cannot believe it. During the steroid era, it was nod, nod, wink, wink. Yeah, we hate steroids, sure.
Yeah, turn the blind
then-
eye when Sammy Sosa was hitting bombs.
we all agree there.
Of course, but here's what happens with sports and people in general. Pendulum swings so far the other direction, it gets nuts. Anything, I mean, anabolic steroids is one thing, and then HGH, which helps someone recover from injury. You gotta just be a little bit rational about it. You look at what certain things are doing, because to me that's a natural hormone that's produced in the body, and he did. It's like it's gotten to the point you could some gum, with some substance that they've considered is now banned and they're going to put the hammer down on you.
Yeah.
So they got to come up with something a little more reasonable. I don't find anything wrong with an player something to help him recover. And
You know what?
I agree, but there's got to be accountability. If I
There
had,
has
if
to
I
be
had my
accountability.
team depending on me and I'm trying to come back into a playoff race and I'm getting paid that amount of money, I'm going to follow the rules necessary to ensure I'm not breaking any rules to make sure
Honestly.
I get back. That's his responsibility and the accountability he has to take here.
Truthfully, it is about accountability, and I'm not wavering. I'm still Tatis. I'm still Team Tatis Jr. because if it really is just a little ringworm spray, I think 80 games is harsh and it needs an appeal. But you and I go by the golden rule. Would you do it? And let's just say Fox Sports Radio is like, you know what? We drug test for everything. You probably wouldn't take chances, right?
Yeah, if Fox Sports Radio said, we're not going to pay you for 80 days if you break these rules.
Yeah, I would not take I would not take an edible before bed. If that, yeah, that's I would sort of change my habits a little bit.
Right? And before you did that,
Yeah.
you'd probably say, hey, is this accepted? Am I going to break any rules? You'd ask the proper questions or have it administered by the proper people.